Schools around the nation are trying to rearrange their sports schedules for the upcoming school year. Collegiate athletes are still hopeful their seasons can still be salvaged. Deaundre Cruz, a linebacker at Southwestern College, says he was training day in and day out as if there was going to be a football season.
I was shocked at first when our coach told us there's a possibility of the season being canceled because I was really working. This was supposed to be a big year for me, my last year in JUCO, and I had to transfer out. So it really hurt that our season had to be canceled like this because I was getting ready. Just gives me more time to work harder and be better for next semester.
Cruz made the transition from offense to defense in his first year of college ball. The move paid off as coaches from bigger schools started showing interest in his talents.
My whole life I've been playing running back or anywhere on offense, so this past season was my first time playing defense at linebacker, and it was really new. Like, my coaches, they were really impressed with me. I started out at the bottom of the depth chart, and a couple weeks before the season started, they moved me up to starter, so I learned a lot. I kept going to the coaches' rooms and asking them, like, showing me film, what I could do to get better, and asking them for help with each play, and kept working hard. I actually have a couple offers from small NAI schools, some D2 schools giving me some looks, and also a couple D1 schools like Colorado has been looking at me, talking to my coaches about me, so pretty excited about that.
With the season scrapped and the possibility of playing for a D1 school on the table, Deaundre is leaning towards the decision of transferring out.
So I've been talking to my coaches a lot, and they feel it's the best that I graduate by December so I'd be able to transfer out to a Division I school because I have some schools looking at me and they really like what they see.
From McAllister running back Kai Akamoto, he says the school is making adjustments to try and save their upcoming football season.
Our athletic department has been doing a real good job, and our school overall has been communicating with the community at our school, telling us about, first of all, we're going to have class in September. There's going to be a fall semester. It's just adjusted a little bit. As far as sports goes, they kind of held like a conference over a Zoom call, and the whole community was invited, and they were saying that they have a strategy of how exactly they would do preseason training, but the way it seems right now is that they're kind of gonna have to abide by government guidelines as well as national guidelines. So they are doing the best that they can to salvage it, and we're just trying to stay as prepared as possible, really. Yeah, so a lot of my teammates, the way they're going about it is some of them are preparing for the worst in the case that there is no season this upcoming semester, or even if it's moved to the fall, or even like an abbreviated, what are all those different situations that they're saying if they're not going to have like a full season, they want to try and take a leave of absence, trying to retain their eligibility so that they can get, you know, the fullest experience of college football that they can.
The strength and conditioning coaches assessed the situation and decided to send the players augmented workouts to do while away from school. The workouts were suitable for at home with what they can do with what they have.
Wherever it was available, I was trying to find some fields, stay in shape, not kind of lose the progress that I had kind of accumulated over the last year and in the off season. So just really trying to retain all the progress. I know it's real difficult. You can kind of lose some of the hard work that you did, but you know, what can you do? Just make the best of the situation. So that's what we were trying to do. I was really looking forward to implementing that and with getting on the field and playing with a better understanding. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, I think the biggest thing for me is that each year that I move forward, I realize that there's kids back home who are kind of watching and seeing what I'm doing out there, and I think that's the biggest motivation for me is like, how much better can I do this upcoming year to show that, you know, kids from Guam can ball out there, and that we can definitely make an impact out there. So that's the biggest thing.
Mia St. Nicholas and the Wenatchee Lady Knights were able to finish out their regular season for basketball. The team advanced to the quarterfinals of the Northwest Athletic Conference. Wenatchee had made it to the final 8 of 16 field before the pandemic had stopped tournament play.
So when the tournament was called short, my teammates and I, we were very heartbroken because we were on a run. We had momentum coming off our win against TCC. Our coach helped us look at the positive things of our season, such as placing second in the East, and we were excited to play our next game against Mount Hood Community College. And finding out that a whole tournament was canceled, we were really sad about it.
Mia has been putting in work at the National Training Center in preparation for her sophomore season. She says the goal is to get better and help lead by example as the team looks to pick up where they left off.
Our coach gave us summer workout packets that we're in groups, so we have to follow a certain, a program such as lifting, conditioning, and shooting, and we have to keep track of our points and turn it in for, a big prize or whatever at the end of the summer, and we turn it in to our coach. For the upcoming season, we plan on starting our first game in February, and we're not sure how the pool is going to look, but from what I know, we're going to play our East region maybe 3 times.
The campus is located in central Washington, and the COVID numbers haven't been as high as other states. Going back to school in September, Mia says the protocol would still be the same with an estimated 7 to 14-day quarantine.
Well, for practices, we're going to go into certain phases. So there's a red, a gray, and a yellow, and a green phase. So the red phase, we're only allowed to do certain things, so like shooting. Yellow, we can do 3-on-3, and then once we hit the green phase, we can do full 5-on-5.
Skylar Blue Johnson played 2 seasons at Highland College in Washington. The T-Birds won the NWAC title for soccer with only 13 players on the roster. With everything going on, she felt it was best to transfer to a school closer to home where she could be around family. Her hard work didn't go unnoticed. Hilo awarded Skylar with a scholarship.
I was actually supposed to go out for a tryout in March during spring break, but since the pandemic happened, I flew out here quickly, and they were actually pending on my scholarship, and so I was just waiting for them since they were my top choice. And so at the end of March, they finally got back to me about giving me an athletic scholarship, even though during the pandemic.
Johnson says the UH staff was very accommodating since she was still in Washington. The communication with the school was great, making sure she had all of her documents squared away, and were very quick about responding back to any of her questions in regard to the Hilo school.
We talk to our coach through email, but then we have a group chat with just the team, and so we have a summer packet that we're following, and so it mostly consists of mile runs, weights, box jumps. Basically since I believe June, we've just been building our way to making sure that we're in shape for season.
School was pushed back to January, and players were told to be checking in with their athletic advisors about online classes. As far as the season goes, with all of the restrictions in place, there's a chance this season could be canceled or shortened dramatically.
Our season is evolving, and currently the state is saying that there will be no out-of-state travel, and since we are under the GNAC conference, which is all the California teams, if they don't play, we don't play. Since there will be no out-of-state travel, we will most likely only be playing HPU, Chaminade, and those are the teams that I know are for sure were on the schedule.